Basically, here's a list of some of the symptoms and conditions and disorders that could be caused by heavy metal toxicity. Emotional changes such as mood swings, irritability, nervousness, excessive shyness, social anxiety, insomnia, neuromuscular changes such as weakness, muscle atrophy, and twitching, and various odd nerve sensations and dysfunctions, which I started having. Headaches, migraines, disturbances in sensations, changes in nerve responses, poor performance on tests of mental function, lower IQ and lower intelligence, learning disorders, memory loss, brain fog, ADD, autism, higher rates of criminality, violence and anger, anxiety problems socializing, depression, bad mood, fatigue, reduced motivation, energy problems, dark circles under eyes, thyroid disorders, skin rashes and disorders, autoimmune disorders. Now, again, I'm not saying that all of this is caused by heavy metals. Heavy metals are just a factor. There could be other factors. And for everybody, it's going to be a bit different. So you have to do research and try stuff out and see what is true for you and your specific situation. Now, some people are more sensitive than others to heavy metals. You might wonder, like, well, Leo, I have these disorders, but I'm drinking the same water and eating basically the same food that my friend eats or that my brother or my mother eats. So how could I be toxic, but then they're not toxic and yet they're all healthy? And they might even eat junk food and yet they're still healthy. How can that be? And why am I sick in this case? Well, because you have different genetics. And genetics determine how well you detox heavy metals naturally. The body has certain natural mechanisms for detoxing certain amounts of heavy metals. For example, in the research that I've looked at, depending on your genetics and various kinds of detox pathways and methylation pathways that exist within the human body potentially, for some people, if they consume some, let's say fish, you consume a pound of salmon that will have heavy metals in it, some people will detox 80% of that mercury just naturally due to their good genetics. For other people, they're only going to be able to detox 20% of that. So compare, maybe your mother or your brother is eating the same salmon you're eating every day, but they're detoxing 80% of it every time. And because of your genetics, which is a little bit different than theirs, you're only detoxing 20% of it. Do you think that makes a difference when you multiply that by 20 years, by hundreds and hundreds of meals of this salmon that you're eating? Yeah, it makes a big difference. It's going to add up in a different way. And also, how your body deals with and stores these heavy metals could also vary due to genetics. These heavy metals are not just floating around in your bloodstream. They then get absorbed into various organs, fat tissues, and then especially problematically is the brain. Because your brain is mostly fatty tissue. There's a lot of fat in your brain, and then the heavy metals get stuck in there, and heavy metals basically have the effect on the brain of what I would call anti-psychedelics. If psychedelics raise your consciousness, if psychedelics increase the neuronal interconnections and your cognitive performance, which they do, heavy metals have exactly the opposite effect. They are like an obstacle to the proper functioning of the neurons in your brain and your ability to think and to reason and to remember things and to visualize things and to use your prefrontal cortex to think about things, to be logical about things. And this is why it can lead to stuff like increased criminality. So you can do some research into the genetics. It's a bit complicated and technical. I won't go into it here, but you can research the MTHFR gene and various methylation pathways. You can even do a genetic test on yourself, doing something like 23andMe, which I've done, and then you can actually find the specific mutations you have of this MTHFR gene. You can find specific snippets, and you can see, based on your genetics, you can actually take a look at how susceptible are you to heavy metal toxicity.